Register now.
Hello dear children, how is everyone? Good afternoon. Namaste to all of you, my dear children, and very warm welcome to this session in which we are going to talk more about the chapters, the CBSE Class 9 chapter, Why Do We Fall Ill? And this is Ambika, your biology master teacher, right here on this super cool platform of Vedantu. How are you all? Yes, children, good afternoon, best status. Hi, Anandi. Hi, Ananya. Hello, Rajashree. Nice. Thank you, Akshit. Eagerly waiting, is it? And yes, it's finally here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, children. Hi-fi. Chris wants hi-fi, right? Hi-fi. Chris. So what's honey? I was thinking honey is the name. Honey is just the username, is it? Yes, Anandi. PDFs are normally available in the description box. In case it's not available, please let me know because I will let the team know. So, hi-fi, Kushant. Thank you, Naman. Happy Dhanteras to everyone who is celebrating Dhanteras. It's not really very much a part of the South Indian culture, but then anyway, to all of you who celebrate Dhanteras, whereas Diwali is there. Diwali is a big festival, but not even in Kerala. It's in Tamil Nadu that Diwali is big, and in Karnataka also. I think Andhra Pradesh also. Except Kerala, all other southern states have Diwali as one major festival. So yes, thank you, children. Currently, the PDF is not available. Okay, just have a look after the session and just send me an email in case it's not. Okay, children, let me remind you that I have got started with a brand new series, Bio Bites in 15 minutes, which the first session of which will be happening today for CBSE Class 10. So why did I start for CBSE Class 10? Because I'm done with their syllabus on this channel. Okay, that's the simplest reason. There is no other reason. Not like I'm partial to CBSE 10 or anything like that. For ICSE 10 and for CBSE 9 also, I have planned to make that series. Okay. Hi-fi, Drashya. Thank you, Ananya. Hi-fi. Okay, so let's get started. Don't forget about Bio Bites. And with that, keeping in mind the Bio Bites, and of course, remember Instagram also. You can now start following me on Instagram also, Ambika_Vedantu. Okay, so with that, let's move on. And as always, start with a positive quote. Dreams don't work unless you do. What does it mean? We may dream about becoming the number one top most person in the entire world, but a dream will remain a dream unless you start doing something about it. Start working at, even if it's a small step, the tiniest baby step you can take towards it. Start doing something to make your dreams come true. Otherwise, it's just going to remain the same, right? Okay. So children, you want to become CEO. Okay, Sandy. Sandy, I have forgotten your actual name. You were there in my last class also, right? Omkar, this is the second lecture of this chapter. Okay. Hello, Nishi. How nice, Akshit. Being in class 8, you use Vedantu videos for studying 9th and 10th as well. How nice to hear that. Okay, now children, remember I had given you a homework. What is the major difference between signs and symptoms, right? Okay. Yeah, so this is the basic difference between both of them. And I had also told you that you can just give it in your own simple language, not necessarily a bookish language, right? So signs are, simply put, the main difference between them is sign is something that a second person will be able to observe on you, either by touching and feeling you, or by looking at you, observing rashes, or feeling high fever, high temperature, something like a low blood pressure, wound. All of these are examples of signs of a disease. Symptoms are something that only the patient would feel. Okay, which is why, remember, I told you in the last class, I asked you how many of you actually say this quite often. Like if you don't want to go to school, Mom, I have a headache, I have a stomach ache, I'm not feeling well. Just like that. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm not feeling well. That's it. So that is something that you are basically faking, because you are confidently saying it in the form of a symptom, so that Nobody will be able to know if it's true or not, right? Okay. What do you mean English language? Oh, is that so? I will have a look, Sandy. I will have a look at it. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Pihu. Okay. Yes, so let us move on. These are the two children who have given me the homework, of course, among many others. But these are the two answers that I have selected for this. Kamya and Stuti. Do we have Kamya and Stuti here? As of now, I don't have plans to teach diversity in living organisms, Geeta. But let's see. According to the time that we have, we'll see. Okay? Yeah. So yes, both of them have said exactly the same thing. Signs are those which are noticed by doctors, or rather I would say noticed by any second person. Symptoms are those which are known only by the individual himself or herself. Okay. Now, today what are we going to learn? We will learn about diseases and their causative agents, basically infectious diseases and their causative agents. How do antibiotics work? And the means of spread of diseases and a few common human diseases. Ready for it? Okay. So children, before we get started, I want all of you to click on the like button right now if you want more and more live sessions like this. Okay, because that's the easiest and the quickest way of letting us know your love for us and the fact that you are looking forward to more and more live sessions. Yes, Menti will also be there, Parth. Of course, Menti will be there. This session will also end with the Menti quiz. Okay? Yes. All right. So I have made it very clear. Now, whoever asks me about Menti, I will just ignore that comment. Okay? Okay. Yeah. All right, Naman, let me see. Okay? Let me see. The next time I will check your answer also and put it in homework. All right. As such, you are very famous, Naman, because all the time you are on the leaderboard. So let's give chance to everyone. Okay. So remember, children, Vedantu always believes in this. Kone se top result aega, and we have proved it once again. And these have been the best results from all online classes. JEE Advanced, NEET, and 11th and 12th. All of them in which we have got hundreds and hundreds of super scorers. These are some of our wonderful super scorers. So children, definitely my heartfelt congratulations to all of these children, and at the same time my request to whoever is watching this session right now is, I'm not trying to boast by bringing in all this data. Rather, look at it in a couple of ways. One is that I am sharing the happiness that all of us are currently experiencing, okay, happiness of the wonderful results of our students. And at the same time, I also want all of you guys to get motivated and inspired by your seniors, because if they can achieve it, definitely you can also achieve it. Yes, so quickly type in I can and I will. I can and I will. Watch me. Yes. No problem, Harsh. Yes, Akanksha. How nice. Akanksha told me this in the last class also. I hope I will be on that list after a few years. Nice to hear that. Okay, very, very well done. And with that, let's move on. And let me remind you also about Vedantu Master Scholarship Admission Test, which happens on 3 p.m. every Sunday. Till the 29th of November. Okay, every Sunday till the 29th of November. Okay, and who can register for it? Children between grades 6th to 13th are eligible to register for it. And based on your score in Vedantu MSAT, as we call it, you will be eligible for wonderful scholarships, even up to 100% based on your performance in it. 100% scholarship for JEE, NEET, and CBSE exam preparation at Vedantu. Okay, guys. Yes. Hello, Reha. Yes, that's the spirit. Okay. How nice. Ananya says, with the help of Vedantu, I can and I will. Yes. Children, also remember to spread word about the JEE and NEET repeaters batch, and whoever you think would benefit from this, please spread word about the repeaters batch. Okay. So it will definitely be useful for all of them. Now, talk about infectious diseases. Remember, infectious diseases, I told you, are those diseases which easily spread from one person to another. Right. So what is the cause of infectious diseases? There are many different causative agents which we categorize under different groups: viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and helminth or worms. Yes? Okay. All right. So these are the major causative agents which cause infectious diseases in human beings. Well, in fact, I must also mention at this point that it's not just in human beings. These have the ability to cause infections even in plants and animals, plants and other animals. Okay. Yes. Check out the link in the description box below, Sandy, and you will find it. Okay. All the details. And I've shown you the ad also at the start of this. Okay, you will be able to find all the details, the link directly in the description box and the pinned comment below. Okay, so let's talk about them individually. Now, what do you see here? This example that you see here is that of a virus. The SARS virus, severe acute respiratory syndrome, is used to be a very common infection. It almost spread like a pandemic. It affected a lot of people a few years ago. I vaguely remember this around the year 2002 or something like that, 2002 or 3, when I was in school. I must have been around your age. I don't exactly remember, but then it used to spread around the SARS virus. So it is caused by a virus and it is highly infective. And why should I tell you more about viruses? Everyone today in the world knows everything about viruses, right? Who is the reason for that? Yes, tell me. Who is the reason for the entire world knowing about viruses? Thank you, Naman. Guys, tell me the answer to the question that I asked, okay? Exactly. Parth is telling me coronavirus, of course, coronavirus. COVID-19, right? Thanks to COVID-19, everyone knows everything about viruses these days. Now, what are bacteria? Bacteria are also infectious agents. What you see here are staphylococci. Okay, Staphylococcus is the singular, and staphylococci in general we call it to refer to the group. And they cause a wide range of diseases. Certain strains of Staphylococcus bacteria are responsible for causing acne, which are pimples on your skin. Okay, staphylococci have the ability to cause acne. So this is about viruses and bacteria. Talking about fungi. Fungi also everyone knows, right? Yes, ringworm infection. Although that name is a little misleading, ringworm, it sounds like it's a worm, right? But then that name refers to this ring-like shape, which you can see in this picture here. The pattern in which the patch would be seen. But it's actually caused by certain fungi. Ringworm infection caused by certain fungi. Think about any other fungal infection that you know. There are certain yeast infections which are common. There are certain other infections, certain forms of dandruff also, something similar to dandruff also is caused by various fungi. Then about protozoa. Protozoa, what are they? Well, since you have not learned the chapter Diversity in Living Organisms, let me remind you that all living organisms on this planet can be put under one of the 5 kingdoms of classification. Kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. We and all the other animals come under Kingdom Animalia. Plants come under Kingdom Plantae. Unicellular eukaryotes come under Kingdom Protista. Fungi come under Kingdom Fungi. And yes, of course, it is deleted. That's exactly why I'm telling you. Bacteria come under Kingdom Monera. Okay, so protozoa like amoeba, like paramecium, and also like leishmania, which is also an example of a protozoan, comes under Kingdom Protista. Well, not all protozoans are pathogenic or disease-causing, whereas some of them are. Leishmania causes a disease called Kala Azar. Okay, so this is why leishmania is famous. And there is also another protozoan which is famous, trypanosoma, which causes sleeping sickness, commonly called African sleeping sickness. Yes? Okay, right. And what about helminth or worms? Now, worms are multicellular organisms. Unlike bacteria, fungi, viruses, and protozoa, these are multicellular organisms which can be seen by the naked eye. Worms, literally, you can see them like this, right? Yes, among children and among pet animals, worm infections are a little common. Ascaris lumbricoides is a very commonly seen roundworm. Sorry, it doesn't cause sleeping sickness. I'm so sorry about that. That's my bad. Okay, it causes what we call ascariasis. Okay, sleeping sickness, on the contrary, is caused by trypanosoma. Okay, now helminth ascaris causes ascariasis, which spreads to humans in the fecal oral route. When you end up consuming something that has been contaminated with fecal matter, and if the ascaris roundworms were there in that fecal matter, by chance, if it is entering into your body, the eggs can hatch and form adult worms. Yes? All right. So this is about the 5 different categories. And let me now tell you a few very quick facts about these infectious agents. All viruses, as I told you, thanks to the coronavirus, everyone knows that all viruses live inside host cells. Independently, they are as good as non-living things. But once they enter inside a host cell, be it a plant cell, a bacterial cell, or an animal cell, viruses can multiply greatly. Bacteria very rarely live inside host cells. They can infect us, but then they very rarely live inside our cells, right? Okay. All right. And आपका mask कहाँ है? What do you mean, Keshav? Why would I wear a mask when I'm not in a public place? Do you wear a mask all the time inside when you're home? Oh, that is surprising. We don't do that because we like to inhale some fresh air when we are inside home. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then viruses, bacteria, and fungi multiply very quickly. Okay. Multiply very, very quickly. Worms comparatively multiply very slowly in comparison to all of the other tiny microbes that we have seen. And taxonomically, which is according to the classification, the hierarchy, taxonomically, all bacteria are closely related to each other than to viruses and vice versa. What do I mean by that? Well, think about 2 different bacteria, the bacterium that causes tuberculosis and the bacterium that causes typhoid. Although it's caused by 2 different strains of bacteria, they may have a lot of similarities. Like both of them may have a cell wall, both of them may have the same kind of nuclear material, and so on. Whereas when you compare them to the coronavirus, there would be almost no similarities between them, right? Okay. Yes, so this is about some facts. And then, of course, life processes are similar in the bacteria group. As I said, kingdom Monera, as we call it, the kingdom in which bacteria come, we call it kingdom Monera. And as a result, the same medicine or the same drug can work against many bacteria. We call them broad spectrum antibiotics, which have the ability to act against a wide range of bacteria. Whereas life processes of virus groups are highly different from that of each other. And hence, the same drugs cannot work against many viruses, right? Okay. Thank you, Veena. I am also excited, actually, about that. Okay, now children, tell me one thing. Why is it that finding a medicine, finding a cure for coronavirus is taking so long? Who is going to tell me the answer? Yes? After Diwali bio exam starts. Children, tell me the answer to the question that I asked. What is taking so long okay, Ananya says because viruses are neither living nor dead. Okay, point taken. No medicine works on viruses. No, there are medicines that work on viruses, antiviral medicines. But what is taking so long to develop a medicine for coronavirus? Viruses reproduce very fast, all right. Okay, what else? You're not coming to the exact point. Mutation occurring, Shreyash, right? Shreyash, okay, says mutation occurring because viruses don't have a genetic material of their own. Rather, as Ananya rightly said, they are considered neither living nor non-living. As I said, by themselves, they are as good as a non-living thing. But once they enter inside the host organism, they incorporate their genetic material with the host's genetic material. And as a result, they multiply in our body using our own genetic material. So any medicine that is given against this virus can destroy our cells also becomes a very, very risky thing, right? Exactly. They don't have a genetic structure of their own. Rather, they depend on the host's genetic machinery. Exactly. Right. Okay. So these are some interesting facts about microorganisms in general. Now, coming to action of antibiotics. Penicillin was the very first antibiotic discovered. Who was going to tell me who discovered penicillin? In your class 8, you would have learnt, I know, discovery of penicillin. Who is the name we always mention in this context? Yes, Mantu, that's all right. Alexander Fleming. Yes, Deepak, it's not Alexandra Fleming, it was Alexander Fleming. Yes, absolutely. Alexander Fleming is responsible for the discovery of penicillin, the very first antibiotic. But then actually the story is that he discovered them by accident. He noticed that other organisms, certain other groups of microorganisms were producing certain substances to attack bacteria, right? That is what led him to observe that this might work in the medical field. Why don't we try out this properly, professionally, right? Okay, so action of antibiotics on bacteria, this is how it occurs. Antibiotics are specifically the medicines which we use to act against bacteria, to destroy or to help you cure yourself of bacterial infections. For a viral infection or for a fungal infection, antibiotics would not work. Okay? But why is this so? Why don't antibiotics work against any other organisms? And why don't they attack our own body cells? Well, this is for the simple reason that the antibiotics have the ability to attack the cell wall of bacteria. Cell wall of bacteria. The chemical substances which make up bacterial cell walls, they can be destroyed by antibiotics. Okay? And as a result, obviously, human cells not having a cell wall, we are safe from the action of antibiotics. But why don't they act against plant cell walls? It is because the material that makes up the plant cell wall is not something that they recognize. Rather, the peptidoglycan layer is where they would attach, and there are certain penicillin binding proteins, and this would eventually inhibit cell wall synthesis in the bacteria, and hence they are unable to multiply further. Hello, Aryan. I'm good. Yes. Okay. Hello, Jewel. Hi, Vijay. Yes, as I told you, children, I will be concentrating a little more on the session for the next few minutes and then coming back to this. All right. Okay. Yes. So, children, also let me remind you one more thing. If there is any question here, any doubt that you come across while I explain this, please don't leave it in the chat box here. Remember to post it in the comment section below so that we can take it up in the Doubts Plus Mentee session. Okay? Who said ma'am is not live? Krishna, I'm very much live. I'm very much alive and I'm very much live also in the session. Okay? Yes. So animal cells, I've told you, they lack cell wall and hence penicillin cannot affect it. Okay, now how do diseases spread? Everyone knows this, right? Diseases can spread through air, water, physical contact, sexual act, and through vector. What are vectors? Who can tell me what vectors are? Can you tell me another name for vectors? Yes, children? It is not recorded, Tushar. Yes, there is Mentee today. Yes, no, not a plasmid. Not in the biotech context. I'm asking about a vector in the context of insect disease spreading. Yes. Sri Priya, right? Sri Priya says carrier. Teja also says carriers, and a few others also say carriers, of course. So, what are they? They don't directly cause diseases, but then they spread infections from one organism to another. What is the name that we give to causative organisms, causative agents? There is a technical name given to causative agents. What name is that? Yes? Housefly is an example of a carrier. Yes? But pathogens, very good, Shreyas. Yes, pathogens are causative organisms or causative agents. So diseases are caused by pathogens spread around by vectors. But not all diseases spread as a result of vectors. They spread by various means. For example, the coronavirus doesn't need a vector to spread around. Just go stand near a person who is affected, and if he or she sneezes into the air, if you are standing in a close proximity to that person, you can very much get affected. High risk. Okay, so that is airborne. There are some which are waterborne, like typhoid, some which you can catch as a result of physical contact, just by shaking hands with the person, or patting on their shoulders, or touching something that they have just touched, and so on. Sexual act also, as in the case of AIDS. Vectors, as in the case of malaria, right? Okay, yes. So here is an infographic that describes all of these. The common methods of transmission of diseases: by direct contact, by air, by indirect contact, which is by using the same articles as another affected person, by food, contaminated food and water, mosquito or insect, by a rabid animal also. Okay? All right. Yes. Now, how does mosquito act as a vector? Now, mosquito acts as a vector in spreading around various diseases. Malaria is one example of a disease which is spread around by the female Anopheles mosquito. Yes, I know, right, Akshit? Akshit is saying COVID is Atmanirbhar. He took Modi ji's words way too seriously. Okay, so mosquito, how does it act as a vector? What it does is, an infected mosquito, a mosquito which carries in its saliva the certain pathogen. Say, for example, the Plasmodium pathogen, which is a protozoan that causes malaria. Right? It goes and bites a normal human individual. Okay, inside that human individual, what it does is it releases those pathogens, and inside the liver of that individual, those pathogens are able to multiply, spread around in the RBCs of that individual, and then when another normal mosquito comes and bites that individual, these pathogens can enter into that mosquito's saliva as well, and then when that mosquito goes and attacks a second person, he or she is also affected, and so on. Right, children? Okay. Yes. So this is about the mosquitoes as a vector. Well, malaria is just one of the examples. Mosquito acts as a vector for various diseases. House flies are also a very good example of a vector in terms of spreading around a lot of diseases. Now, coming to some common human diseases, malaria, I've already told you, malaria is caused by Plasmodium, which is a protozoan, right? Now, how does a person get it? By the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Control is a drug called quinine, curing, okay, to cure a person, treatment basically. Now, how do you prevent malaria? It is by breaking contact between female Anopheles mosquito and man, and eliminating Anopheles mosquito. Keep your surroundings neat and clean. Don't allow mosquitoes and houseflies to breed around your surroundings. That is the best way of preventing vector-borne diseases. Okay. Corona is also affected by mosquitoes. Seriously? Oh my goodness. Okay, now diarrhea is yet another common human disease which can be caused by protozoans, bacteria, and viruses. There may be many wide varieties of causes. Although this image says bacteria, it could be other organisms like viruses and protozoans also. So it could have entered into your body through contaminated food and water. Right, so food or water which had been kept open and exposed for a very long time, and by chance, if a housefly or a mosquito, houseflies most commonly, happens to come and sit on your food or water, it has the tendency to spread around these pathogens, because you never know where it came from. That housefly might have sat on some very disgusting, rotting piece of garbage, where there could have been these pathogens. After that, if it's directly coming and sitting on your food, definitely high risk. And how do you treat a person affected with diarrhea? ORS, oral rehydration solution, and salt sugar solution. All of these are what are prescribed, because in diarrhea, loose motions can be seen. And as a result, the person feels very tired and dehydrated. As a result, doctors prescribe a lot of fluids. Plenty of fluids are prescribed. And also, prevention is, again, one is hygiene, and also proper sanitation and vaccination also. Okay? Yes. And now moving on to cholera. Vibrio cholerae is a bacterium which spreads around cholera. Okay, so Vibrio is literally, Vibrio refers to all bacteria which are sort of comma shaped like this, like you see here, almost more or less comma shaped. Okay, and again, just like diarrhea, contaminated food and water is the mode of transmission. Control is again antibiotics, of course, because it's a bacterial infection, so antibiotics would help. And of course, like the case of diarrhea, plenty of fluids, oral rehydration solutions, salt sugar solutions are all prescribed in the case of cholera. Okay, children, how many of you I mean, I don't know how many of you, I sincerely pray that nobody gets affected with any of these diseases, to be very honest. But then, how many of you, when you felt sick, you were very, very fussy about eating food? Yes? How many of you have experienced that? You were very fussy. Mom is trying to feed you with food, and you are like, no, I don't want to eat, and you're like just lying down there. Teja, yes? Kavya? Sri Priya? Yes. Raghav says, not me, ma'am. But many, yes. Of course, I have also done this when I was a child. And then my mom would be like, I remember once when I was really, really ill. Of course, it was something like some kind of a flu or something when I was a child. And whatever you eat, sometimes in some cases, some of these infections, you might end up vomiting. You throw up whatever you may eat, right? So that becomes a problem. You don't feel like eating food. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. Porridge, Ami says. Yes. So all of those, my mom used to toast bread with ghee or butter and then try and feed me. And if it was things like that, then I would sometimes eat it, maybe a slice or two, because it's quite common. When my daughter falls sick also, we do that. All moms try to feed them, but then vegetable soup, any kind of porridge, rice gruel as it's called kanji down in the South India, kanji in Kerala, kanji in other states, other southern states, ganji also some people call it. I don't know what it's called in North. Yes. Exactly. Khichdi, yes, Ananya. All of these children, remember, these are food items that will really, really help keep you well hydrated and will help you recover very fast, because it doesn't have too many spices in them. It is mild on your stomach. At the same time, it's providing you with enough carbohydrates and proteins that your body requires. Okay. Oh, Drishya, I'm so sorry to hear that, but glad to know that you are fine now. Okay, chicken pox is caused by a virus. It's not was caused by, it is caused by a virus. Okay. Yes. Of course, Anil, basic precautions can help in preventing a lot of diseases. Typhoid also very, very similar. Salmonella typhi is the causative organism. Again, mode of transmission remains the same, contaminated food and water. And being a bacterial infection here also, use of antibiotics can help in controlling typhoid to a great extent. The best way, children, to prevent waterborne diseases is by ensuring that you drink only boiled and cooled water. Warm water, water which has warmed down after it's been boiled at least for 5 minutes. Boiled at least for 5 minutes. Okay? Yes, Menti is there. As I told you at the start, I will ignore any more comments that says, is Menti there? Thank you, Ami. Lots of love from Kerala to Kerala also, right? Potable water. Yes, 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 of course. Children, have you ever heard about Typhoid Mary? The story of Typhoid Mary? Yes, I don't know how many of you have heard about Typhoid Mary. So, Typhoid Mary, yes, right? Yes. So, hello, Rohan. Typhoid Mary's story goes like she used to be in the early 1900s, I think, or even earlier than that, I'm not sure. She used to be a very, very famous cook. Okay. Not in India, in some country outside, I think in one of the United States countries, one of the American countries, I'm not very sure. Okay. So Typhoid Mary, as she is actually named, she is now known as Typhoid Mary. She was a well-known cook. And the problem came when she was affected with typhoid. Back then, people did not know too much about typhoid, and there came many issues. She was an excellent cook, And there was a certain signature dish also that she had, some kind of an ice cream or some kind of a pudding, if I remember right. I have read this when I was in college. And there came a problem when she was affected with typhoid disease, and she did not know it's typhoid, or she did not realize that it's a very dangerous thing. But then the thing is, she was asymptomatic. But then wherever she went and cooked food, people who ate the food prepared by her started falling sick. Some of them died also. Okay, so back then in those days, to be getting a job in one of the richest families, in some of the richest families in one of those Western countries, used to be a privilege for them. Okay, so what she did was, every time somebody would fall sick and die in the place where she worked, she would just run away from there. Okay, yes, as a healthy carrier. Insane Gamer has copy pasted everything about Mary Mallon, right? 1869. Yes, United States. Exactly whatever I'm saying. And the thing is, many people unfortunately died. And finally, they realized that it was something wrong with her cooking habits. And they realized that it is because of improper washing of hands before cooking. Yes. Okay, because she was carrying this disease. She was an asymptomatic carrier of typhoid. Whatever she touched got contaminated with Salmonella typhi. People who ate it fell sick. And ultimately, they like made her run away from the country. Okay, she was put in isolation. It seems she was quarantined for a very long time, but eventually she got to be known to the world as Typhoid Mary. Okay, so that's about typhoid. And then tuberculosis. Tuberculosis also, everyone knows it is an airborne infection. The most common form of tuberculosis is an airborne infection, most of it which is caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Again, being a bacterial infection, use of antibiotics can help in controlling it. So how does it spread? Obviously, airborne disease would mean coughing and sneezing, droplets, sometimes contaminated milk also, in the sense unpasteurized milk, which is contaminated with certain forms of mycobacterium which infects cows, bovine mycobacterium as they are called. If that is present in milk, and if that milk ends up being unpasteurized and you are directly drinking it without boiling it, you have chances of getting such diseases. Okay? Yes. Not necessarily, Ananya. Asymptomatic people tend to have effects of the disease in the long run. Not necessarily. No, not always. Okay. Yes. And also remember, spreading awareness regarding cleanliness. Of course, these days we know using a mask can help in the control of various diseases like this. BCG vaccine among children. Yes, this also is very, very important and very, very useful in preventing tuberculosis. All right, so these are some of the most common diseases which we find in human beings. Hepatitis also is yet another viral infection caused by hepatitis virus. There are many different types of hepatitis viruses. Hepatitis virus A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, A and B are said to be the most common ones, and the mode of transmission is again contaminated food and water for certain forms. For some of them, it could be through body fluids. For some of them, like sexually transmitted and all of that. Okay, Bacillus calmette guerin is BCG. It is the vaccine that you take as a kid, as a very young child, to prevent tuberculosis. Okay? Yes, Manish. Right. All right. So about the control, antiviral injections can really help. Antiviral medications can help. Foods rich in carbohydrates are also prescribed, as I told you. The kanji, soup, and clear soups for that matter. All of these can really help you. Khichdi also can help in as part of the treatment of diseases like these. How do you prevent it? Proper sanitation, safe drinking water, get it tested early, get your blood tested early using disposable needles, disposable syringes where required. Okay, rabies, of course. Oh my goodness. How many dog lovers here? And how many yes, we have already discussed that, Siddhant. It's not like a less chance of making a vaccine. Viruses are difficult to treat, basically, difficult to control because of their genetic material. No? Love dogs. Love dogs. Bacilli calmette guerin. Okay, BCG. Me. I've said that, Ananya. Yes, right. Exactly. I'm also a dog lover, but then because we also have a pet dog, but then stray dogs, although they look very, very cute, some of them have this such a cute expression. They just look at you with eyes full of sympathy. You just want to go and touch them. But then I'm very, very scared because stray dogs, you don't know if they are carriers of certain viruses like the rabies virus. Because rabies virus, how it get transmitted is through the bite of infected animals. Of course, pet dogs, mostly once in a year, we take them to the vet and get them vaccinated for anti-rabies vaccine, right? Yes, and once a human being gets affected with the disease, there would be no cure for that. Okay, so that is why prevention in diseases like these is definitely way better than cure. So wash the wound. If at all you get bitten by a dog, I pray that you don't. If at all you do get bitten by a dog, wash the wound very, very well, and anti-rabies serum. Of course, visit the doctor as early as possible. But first step has to be washing it very, very uh, in a clean manner with antiseptic liquids and with soap and all of that. And pets always, if at all you have a pet at home, remember they have to be vaccinated. Okay. Now, AIDS and influenza are also the last two common diseases that we will be discussing. AIDS, of course, everybody knows that it mainly gets transmitted through sexual contact. Human immunodeficiency virus is what AIDS is. What is what HIV is, human immunodeficiency virus, and AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay? Yes. All right, so this is about AIDS and HIV. Most commonly, it gets spread through infected blood, semen, breast milk, and also spreads from mother to fetus. Actually, this infographic explains, like, just one look at it and you know what are the causes, what are the possible causes of AIDS, right? And then control, there is no proper cure yet, but then there are certain drugs which are available to slow down the progress of the disease, or at least for a temporary relief from symptoms. You know what the worst problem with the disease like AIDS is? It is that the person's immune system becomes highly weak. So even a simple cold, a common cold or a cough would really affect that person badly because immune system is hampered. Okay. Yes. All right. Yes. So, and prevention, of course, prevention, there are a lot of preventive measures. Do remember, children, December 1st is celebrated as World AIDS Day. And that is basically to spread awareness about the reason behind this and how you can prevent this. Just by shaking hands with an AIDS positive person doesn't spread the disease. Just by sitting and eating food with a person having AIDS doesn't spread around the disease. For AIDS to be spread around, it should be one of these reasons. Unprotected sex passed on from mother to baby, and even lactating mothers when they feed their babies, sharing injecting equipment, especially true with drug addicts also, or in the case of hospitals that don't take care of it, contaminated blood transfusion or organ transplant. All of these can help in, they actually help in taking care of all this, helps in controlling or preventing this disease. Okay, so that is about AIDS. And then influenza, everybody knows it's commonly called flu, right? It is commonly a virus which causes it. There are many different kinds of viruses which cause influenza. Myxovirus is one common virus which causes flu. How does it spread around? Cough, sneeze droplets, just like coronavirus. And control is no proper control, no proper cure for it. But then if there is a bacterial infection, along with this infection, antibiotics may be prescribed for controlling that. Okay, and then first a temporary relief, bed rest, and eating a lot of fluids and all of that can provide a lot of good to the patient. Okay. Yes, and prevention is best to keep away from an infected person. Okay, stay 2 feet away. Social distancing is always important, even if we come over the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so now children, get ready for Menti. But before that, let me remind you that all of your online study related problems are solved here at Vedantu. Remember, through Vedantu Pro subscription courses, you get access to all of these unlimited bonuses. Okay, and remember to visit the link in the description box below and the pinned comment. The coupon code that you can use is AMBPRO. Okay. And just click on the link and you would be taken to a window where you can choose your grade. Say, for example, grade 9 that you belong to, select your target. The target would be CBSE 2021, say, for example. If it's ICSE, choose it accordingly. Okay. And then check out all the details. What is included in Vedantu Pro? All the details are mentioned here. And then click on Get Subscription. Make an informed decision is all that I would say. Okay. Now, for a 1 month of Pro subscription, the normal pricing is 2,699. But you can go ahead and apply the coupon code AMBPRO, and normally it would get reduced to 2,159.2. But remember, Diwali sale has been extended. Diwali sale on these courses has been extended for your benefit. So you get a 50% discount on this price. Okay, then for 3 months, again, the normal price is 6,999. And if you apply the same coupon code AMBPRO, you get a 50% off. And for the 6 months subscription, 11,499, on which this code would give you a 50% discount. Okay, children, so definitely make use of it before Diwali sale ends. Please do make it a point to subscribe to Vedantu Pro subscription, because it helps streamline your process of studies. It helps in giving you a lot of structure to your studies. Okay? Yes, children. Ready for the Menti? Yes? Okay, let's get started. So, here we go. All right, children, time for Menti. A very, very short Menti though. Let me tell you that within 10 minutes we'll be done. Go to menti.com and use the code 8151 8151 Menti.com and use the code 8151 SCID is Severe Combined Immune Deficiency Syndrome. Okay? Yeah. Guys, I would strongly suggest sharing the link with your friends also, whoever you think might be interested in joining us. We have around 5 to 6 questions for this Menti. Okay? More the merrier. In Menti, always more the merrier. Yes, yes, yes. Go on, go on. Go to www.menti.com. Use the code 8151 Hello, Himanshu. What spreads through many other ways also, Justin? Which disease are you talking about? I've not given the homework yet. Lena. Okay, shall we get started? How many of you? Not bad. Okay, children who've just joined, go to www.menti.com, use the code 8151 and here we get started. Question number 1. Ready for it? Yes, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. They also say it's acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Okay, Helen? Yes. Okay. How nice to know that, Ananya. I intend to do more of those motivational videos in the days to come. Okay, your question number 1 is right here for you. The causative agent of sleeping sickness is dash. Is it a virus? Is it a bacterium, protozoan or helminth? Yes, join in, Rajat. Menti.com and use the coupon code 8151 And you have 10 more seconds remaining. Yes, Miss or Malayali alle, Miss Ade. Yes, I am. I'm from Kerala. I'm a Tamilian born and brought up in Kerala. So I'm more of Malayali than Tamil. Okay. So absolutely. So who here will tell me now in the chats which protozoan causes sleeping sickness? Tell me the name of the organism. In the meantime, I will open the leaderboard. Which protozoan? Which protozoan? Trypanosoma. Very good. Very good. Yes. Naman and Shankar have told me the answer is trypanosoma. Yes, indeed. So, yes, Vikita is the fastest and at the first position. Tiger Baby right behind, and Naman also right behind. High five, Naman. Frank, Anandi, Drashya, Vivek. High five, Vivek. Locate, Riju, Nihar. Okay, very, very well done. And let's move on to the next question. Question number 2 of 6 right here for you. Ma'am, Kannada, what do you mean? SARS stands for dash. Severe acute regulatory syndrome, severe acute respiratory syndrome, severe acute respiratory sinus, or none of these. I love all of you children. All right. Yes, B, 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 A. All right, let's see. Let's see. Last 5 seconds for you. Go on, go on, go on. Children who are just answering in the chat box, go to www.menti.com, use the code 8151659 and give me the answers here. Very well done. It is severe acute respiratory syndrome, of course. It's not regulatory, nor is it respiratory sinus. And having a look at the leaderboard once again, SARS. Which organism causes SARS, guys? Which organism causes SARS? Tiger Baby. Okay, Tiger Baby and Vikita have exchanged positions. Naman is still at the 3rd position. Tejasvi, Nithila, Nihar, high five, Nihar, Sneha, Blake, Abel, Vaibhav. Okay, high five, Vaibhav. All right, virus. Very good, very good, very good. Jitendra, Dia, Jia, a lot of you have said it is virus. So question number 3 of 6 right here for you. Among these, dash can cause acne or pimples. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Salmonella typhi, Leishmania donovani, Staphylococci. Yes? What do you mean, Raghav? I'm first. You can't join, Menti. What happened, Chris? Yes. And you have your last 5 seconds now. Ananya, sinus, you have a lot of sinuses, which are cavities inside your skull, basically. When there is an inflammation in the sinus, we call it sinusitis. Okay? Staphylococci, very well done. But then it's only 51 of you who have answered it correct. But I'm still happy because it is definitely 51 out of 95 who have answered it right. So, Staphylococci, among various other diseases that it can cause, it causes acne as well. Now, any changes in the leaderboard? Raghav, okay, Raghav, Vikita, Naman, Tejasvi, Nihar, Abel, Vaibhav, Shankar, Siri and Namrata. Okay, well done. And here we go to question number 4 of 6. Right here. Which one of the following diseases is caused by protozoans? Malaria, influenza, cholera or AIDS? Which of these is caused by protozoans? Yes, children? Benton, what did you tell me your name is? Himanshu. Yes, C, D, A. Okay. Good evening, Tanmay. Is it already 4 p.m.? No, not almost. Okay, well done. Well done, well done, well done. Malaria is caused by a protozoan. Which is the protozoan which causes malaria? Who is it who will tell me the name of the protozoan specifically? Influenza is a viral infection. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae, which is a bacterium. Yes. Plasmodium, Garima, Harshita, very well done. Plasmodium and AIDS is caused by HIV, which is a virus again. Okay, so that brings us to the next leaderboard. All right, well done, well done. So I think a lot of you have now maintained your consistent names on the leaderboard. Raghav, Naman, Tejasvi, Vikita, Nihar, Vaibhav, Abel, Siri, Nancy, and Darshana. All right, children who have joined late, go to menti.com and use the code 8151659. And here we go to question number 5 of 6. And after this, we will have just one more remaining. Question number 5 of 6 right here on your screen. Which of these can make you ill if you come in contact with an infected person? Sneezing, diabetes, blood pressure, or all of these? Lots of love, Himanshu. Yes, lots of love, Himanshu, of course. Oh, shopping in this time. Oh my goodness. All right. Yes, children. So 5 seconds remaining for you. And your time is up. Oh, very well done. 3 heroes have actually said diabetes. 1 hero has said blood pressure. 8 heroes have said whatever it is, all of these, whether it makes sense or not, all of these. Yeah, of course. Now you have to say misclicked, and all of that. Sneezing is definitely the right answer if you come in contact with an infected person. Yes, just think about coronavirus, and that will give you the answer to many of these questions. Okay, so any changes on the leaderboard? Raghav, Naman, Tejasvi, Nihar, Abel, Vaibhav, Nancy, Siri, Darshana, and Namrata. Okay, I don't see any new names. Very well done, children. Last question for the day. Openmenti.com. Use the code 8151659 and join me. Let us have a blast with the very last question right here. Okay, so question number 6. Organisms that spread diseases but don't cause them are called dash. Pathogens, hosts, vectors, A and C. Pathogens, hosts, vectors, A and C. Organisms that spread around diseases, but they are not the actual cause of these diseases. What do you call them? Yes? I'm getting all kinds of answers. A, C, D, okay? B is the only one I didn't get until now. But actually 11 people have said it's B, is it? The answer is, of course, it is vectors. Mosquitoes, houseflies, and all of these are examples of vectors. Organisms which cause diseases are called pathogens. Organisms which are affected are called hosts. Okay? So, very, very well done. Congratulations to all of these 35 of you who answered it correct. The answer is vectors or carriers. And here comes our last leaderboard for the day, where we have... Well done, Raghav. Children, always remember, regardless of whether or not you come on the leaderboard, if you have been able to learn something from this session, nothing better than that. Whether you came on leaderboard, whether you did not come on leaderboard, honestly speaking, it is secondary to me. But as much as possible, you must be active in Menti sessions. Okay? No ill feelings, no hard feelings at all. Menti sessions are not meant to create fights between you all. Rather, it is something that has to promote a sense of healthy competition. Not like for the sake of coming on the top, I will cheat. Not like for the sake of coming on top, I will put down another person. No. Children, remember, Raghav, Naman, I'm not talking about any of you specifically, my dear children. I'm just telling you in general, because of how hurt I feel when I look at the chats while, Menti is happening. You are cheating, you are not cheating, I'm being truthful and all of that. It's all right. Mind your own business, guys. Everything else is secondary. So very well done. Even congratulations to all the other children. Vikita, Garima, Anshia, Simran, Darshana, Nancy, Siri also, I think, Tejasvi, Naman, everyone. Very well done, children. All of you have played amazingly well. And the slides will be available to you in the description box below, children. If you have any questions to ask, any doubts related to what we have discussed until now today, please do remember to put it in the description box below, in the comment section below, so that we can pick it up at the time of Doubts Plus Mentee session. Okay? Yes. Exactly. If anyone wins, it doesn't mean he or she is cheating. Komal has a very good point there. right? All I'm saying is stop talking about the other person without knowing enough. And let me remind you that we now know about diseases and their causative agents. How do antibiotics work? Means of spread of diseases and common human diseases. My homework for you for today is right here, children. Why is it difficult to make antiviral drugs as compared to antibiotics? Why is it difficult to make antiviral drugs as compared to antibiotics? Some of you have already given me the answer while the session was happening. Okay? Yes. Happy Diwali to all of you, my dear children. Happy Dhanteras and happy Diwali to all of you. Children, remember to visit the link in the description box below and check out the pinned comment. Remember, Diwali sale is still on. It's been extended for a couple of days more. Apply the coupon code AMBPRO and remember to click on the like button if you want more and more sessions like these. And of course, share it with all your friends, especially your CBSE Class 9 friends, so that they can also benefit from this. Stay subscribed, children, to our channel Vedantu 9th and 10th English, because as you know, Bio Bites in 15 minutes is starting very soon, starting today actually for CBSE 10th, and for the rest of you also, I intend to do that within the next few weeks. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Ambika_Vedantu. Okay, wherein you get to see a lot of interesting posts, many of which will be moral stories, many of which will be other things, many other interesting things that we will be putting up. And thanks a lot, children, for joining me today. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, and until we meet again, stay home, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. This is Ambika signing off. Bye bye. Yes, happy Diwali to all of you once again in advance. Doubts in the comment section below. Okay. I've already taken up quite a long time. Take care, children. Bye bye.